Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another topic where we will see a process through which we can easily change our directory with the help of variable. Okay, and this topic is very important again from the perspective of projects, because when you are working for a project, then there are some situation where we have larger path, right? Where we want to change the directory, but in that case, like if you are rewriting again and again everything, then it would be time taking for sure, right? Just to solve that issue, what we will do, we can create some variables on QShell screen itself, and then we can utilize those variable in our cd command. Clear? Now, if those like if you have covered the previous session, then there we have discussed some CL program as well, through which we were executing the QShell commands, right? So in those CL program, we also created the variable. Let me show you that thing, because if you try to relate that thing with QShell variable, then it would be much easier for you to understand the concepts. So let me hit work member PDM here and taking option 2 here. So you can see we created that, right? This is the old program where we created this variable command, and in that variable we are using the actual command, and later we are executing the variable. So same thing we are going to implement, but on QShell. Clear? So for that, first of all, we will understand the requirement, like why we use this pattern, why we go for variable instead of directly writing the path. Okay, and once the requirement is clear, then we will discuss the actual command on the QShell prompt. There we will try to run couple of commands. Okay, and then later we will identify what is the difference between these two approaches. Okay, fine. So let's start with the QShell part. The requirement part. For that, I will hit one command here, work lnk, then hitting enter. You can see this is the directory, by default directory. In your case, it would be slash home and your username. But in my case, my username is Sharmit. That's why it is showing slash home slash Sharmit. Clear? Now what we will do page down and look for the directory which is present over here. So this directory I'm going to use for the demo purpose. So let's say if I take option 5 here, and I'm in this location, which is slash home slash sharmit slash tech sharmit, then from here what I can do, I can simply copy this path for copying the like for accessing this file. So I'll just copy it. Okay, it is copied. Now what we will do, we will go to the QShell area, and there we will try to run scenarios and understand the requirement. So let me hit enter here on QSH, which will open a QShell command entry screen for us. Now here, what we can do, we can run one first command, which is pwd, to check our present working directory. So hitting enter, you can see this is my present working directory, slash home slash sharmit. Clear? Now suppose I want to execute a cd command, okay, and I want to change my directory to the location which I have copied. So usually what we are doing, we usually use this command cd, then space, then slash home slash sharmit slash tech sharmit. This is the path we just copied, right? Then if I hit enter here, it will change my directory to this location. Okay, now if I check pwd again, you can see it has been changed. Fine. So let's say if again I change my present working directory to slash home, uh, like this. Okay. All right. Now pwd is showing my present working directory as slash home. Now let's say again I want to implement the same thing. So in that case, either I have to rewrite the command again and again, okay, or I have to like take F9. F9 is also a solution because we can retrieve the command, but let's say if there are various command performing in between, then so again we have to scroll it up to look for this command, then we will place our cursor and take F9. So this is not a better way. Okay, better way is to keep everything in a variable, and then we can simply utilize that variable whenever we want to use it. Okay, so let's see how we can create the variable. So for that you can simply write your variable name. So let's say I want to create it with the name cmd var. Okay, cmd var, then equal, then double quote, and inside this you can paste your path. So let's say I want to go for slash home slash sharmit slash tech sharmit, and then simply hit enter. So this variable has been declared. Okay, now if I want to switch to this variable, or if I want to change my directory to this location, I can simply use cd then dollar, make sure to put dollar, otherwise it will give error, and your variable name. So in my case variable name is cmd underscore where, and then simply hit enter. On pressing enter, it will change your location to this particular area, and if you check now, pwd, it has been changed to slash home slash sharmit and slash tech sharmit. Okay, so this is the one way. Now there might be a few questions from you, like why I'm not keeping the space. Let's try that. So if I try to keep space in between these things, it will give error, because this is not a correct way to use it. So to declare the variable, you have to remove the space. Okay, what will happen if I remove only one space? Will it accept? No, still it is not accepting. And what will happen if I remove space from here and keep it here? Still it is giving error. Okay, so make sure to remove both spaces when you are assigning the value, otherwise it will give error. So now the value has been assigned. Again, for the cd command, if you are using cd variable, don't write a variable name directly, otherwise it will give error, like cmd underscore where. If I try to use this thing, it will give error. An error is error found changing to directory cmd where. Okay, so this is the one thing. And if you want to implement the command, then you can simply use dollar and hit enter, so it is changed. Okay, so these are the some steps that we are supposed to implement while performing the change directory process with the help of variable. Okay, and as I told you that it is very useful for project perspective, because when you are doing, let's say, some qshell related commands you are using frequently, and in those conditions there are various paths which we have to follow, or which we have to, like, there are various paths where we are supposed to change the directory. So in those situations there is no need to rewrite everything again and again. Better to create some variable. If there are multiple paths, then you can create a multiple variable by simply using the same steps. Put your variable name equal, and then whatever your path is, you can paste it there, right? And then later you can simply use a cd command with those variable to implement the to perform the change directory process. Okay, so that will for sure save your time, and once your time is saved, then you can focus on your other priority things. Okay, instead of rewriting everything again and again. So that's the reason we are covering each and every topic in a separate session, because these are the only steps that we will be using in our projects. So all these things I'm uh, collected from my experience so far. Okay, and I have gone through various condition and scenarios, so I'm just trying to share those things with you. So I request you to go through all the session properly, keep a note of everything which we are discussing here, and make a habit to go in a step by step process. Otherwise it might be not that much of easier for you to go and check to understand the concepts. Okay, that's why I always recommend to follow a proper sequence, because everything is in a proper order. So if you are following a sequence, then it would be much easier for you to understand the concepts. Okay, so yeah, for this session these are the only thing which I would like to share with you all, and in the next session we will discuss few more things. And meanwhile, what you can do, you can do some practice on the commands which we have created so far, because as we have covered everything in a separate session, so might be you have forgot some of the command that we discussed in last few sessions. So better to do the practice in a single session. What you can do, I would suggest you to keep a note of everything, and when you are done with all these commands, when we are done with this and we move to the another topic, then in that case you can utilize all those commands in a single qshell command screen. Try to explore by yourself. If there is any kind of issues, you are facing any issues, you can put your feedback on the comment section, then I'll try to figure out the solution for your problem, and we'll share on the same. Okay, So that's my request to you. Please do proper practice of these command, and these would be for sure very important for you even if you are working for a Linux related profile also. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching TechShare Myth.